Oh, hey there. Bet you're wondering how I got in this situation. Well, let us get back to work, shall we? You were here before. Alright, we asked you about the crime. So, Miss Tum. You said you were an actress. That's what it says in the script. You never heard of me before? Try searching the internet for my website, at Livytum. Hire me if you ever need an actress. At Livytum. Is that someone's actual Twitter account? I would die laughing if that was the case. No, thank you. Though maybe I should keep it in mind next time I need a surprise witness. Ah. Why is an actress such as yourself partaking in a poker tournament? What, is that illegal, Chrissy? You think actresses can't play some poker occasionally? Not at all. I was under the impression that the best poker players in the country got invited. I'd have thought that all players would be professionals, as in those who make it their job. Well, I'm a pianist and I got invited too, Kristoph. Clearly you don't have to be a pro to get invited. You still play it full time, right? Besides, you being a pianist is just a cover for your real job. Hey, don't look at me. Roy invited me, so I thought why not play in his tournament? Oh, but I am a really good player, though. I had made it to the finals before the murder cancelled the tournament. And I'd have won it too if it weren't for that. In fact, I'd never lost a single poker game before. Just like you, Mr. Wright. See? Maybe all the best poker players are just all the pianists and actresses. I seriously doubt that, right? Don't bother with Chrissy, Mr. Wright. It's clear he knows nothing about poker. Why is she calling me Chrissy, said Wright by his real name? Poker tournament. Perhaps you could tell me more about the poker tournament itself. Only people who gotten an invitation entered the tournament, correct? I think so. All they got is a script. I can't read people's minds, Chrissy. The invitation I got emailed to me said everyone had to print it out and bring it along today, at least. So I don't think anyone without an invitation showed up. What time did the tournament start? At 9 AM. All the first rounds of the tournament were then played until about 12 or so. In case you're interested, I even made note of all the match lineups. You mean who each poker player was up against? Very well, let's hear it. Alright, first was me, Livytum, versus Al-Hin. Al-Hin. All-in. Next up was Philip Descartes versus Ben Krupp. Ben Krupp. Then Bethany et al. Betten. Oh, it just sunk in. It just sunk in. If you figured it out in part 1 and placed a comment mentioning it in part 1, let's see if our answers align. I'm recording this directly after part 1, so this just clicked for me. Bethany et al. Betten et al. Versus River Turner. And finally, Phoenix Wright versus Ace Attorney. One of those matches were me, Ben Krupp, Bethany et al., and Phoenix Wright, of course. Philip Descartes lost. Oh shit. And Mr. Bankrupt won. I must say, I was expecting a bit more competition from poker players with names like that. And there was lunch in the kitchen until 1 PM, after which the first semi-final round started. That match was me versus Ben Krupp, by the way. I believe the second semi-final round was to start at 2 PM, but that's when the murder happened. I see. Thanks for sharing. No, wrong voice. I see. Thank you for sharing that with me. What am I doing? I was supposed to share details related to the murder with you. Okay, no more out of me. That's all right. Do you perhaps know where the other contestants are? I'll try asking them more instead. I'm afraid that's not possible, Chrissy. All those guys have long gone home. There's a list of rules that came with the invitation. One rule said that upon elimination in the tournament, the player had to leave the casino immediately. Here, Chrissy, how about you take my invitation so you can read it for yourself? Well, thank you, Mr. Tum. Aha! Tournament invitation. So anyway, are you two going to be done here anytime soon? I still got some lines I'd like to practice for tomorrow, and I can't have an audience for that. I see. Not to worry, we'll make ourselves scarce rather soon. However, I do suppose there are 2 lines here in my script I'd like your opinion on, Chrissy. What would those be, Miss Toom? Okay, here it is. You ready? Ha 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 ha! What a loser! I can't believe he actually did that. Or... Never expected you to be this lame, Chrissy. Which line do you think would be better for me to say if you mess up the cross-examination with me? I really do not have a strong opinion on that, Miss Toom. You should go with the first option. I'll quiet you. Okay, I'll just mull it over myself for a bit then. Okay, you have fun with that. I'm going out of here. Anyway, let's read this here. As per my last email. Oh, it does not cover. Okay. You have been invited to partake in the high-stakes poker tournament held at Elfast Casino on April 15th, starting at 9 a.m. Poker tournament rules. Every player must print out this email and bring it with them as confirmation they were invited to the tournament. Every player must bring $100,000 in cash to enter the tournament. The winner of the tournament will take the total amount of all entry fees as the prize. All mobile phones must be stored in the casino's locker room during the tournament. Upon being eliminated from the tournament, the player must leave the casino immediately. Hope to see you there. Alrighty. Where are we going now? Staff Lounge. Oh, this is the office from Trials and Tribulations. Is it? That safe doesn't feel familiar. Interesting. This room looks quite a bit smaller than it actually is. Yeah, this is the biggest room inside the building, even. Wonder why they decided to make the largest room the staff lounge. No doubt the owner thought the biggest room should be used for the most important facilities. It's not actual casino-related facilities if this map is anything to go by. Hey, pal. We're still investigating over here. How about giving us a little breathing room? Detective, my apologies, I'm here to investigate as well. Thought you were just here to see that friend of yours. Does you really think that's why I took that case? Well, I guess that's fine. But inside the vault is still off limits, though. That's where the body was found, after all. And I guess the police are calling dibs on that, right? Hey, be glad we're letting you investigate it all, pal. You lawyers have been putting us out of work. Perhaps you detectives ought to do a better job, then. In any event, time to get this investigation properly started. Ooh. Hey, pal. Have you ever thought about how attorneys' badges look like Danish butter cookies? Looking at them sure always makes me hungry. Didn't you know, detective? They are Danish butter cookies. Go ahead and eat it. What, really? Well, if you don't mind, then I'd love to try it. He's pulling your leg, detective. Of course my badge is not a cookie. Oh, that's too bad. What about that button on your beanie, pal? Is that a cookie? It's not as fun when it's my own stuff that's on the line. Serves you right. Here, detective, I'm raising your salary. Oh, no, darn, I can't show him the quarter. Detective, can you tell me more about this? Whoa there, pal, I can't just give info on every random thing you show me. What if it would cause you to learn something I'm supposed to explain in the trial? You wasted my time going to the court tomorrow. But you're not just there to explain things to the defense. Alright, investigation progress. How's the investigation going so far, detective? Well, it's slow, pal. This room alone has taken us all day. Doesn't help it's full of devices with multiple security measures installed. All the latest and best quality security currently available, too. We have a tough time getting info. Is it normal for a casino to invest so much in security? Yeah, Mr. Elflash. Mr. Elflash was known to take it to the extreme. He'd cut costs everywhere and everywhere else and invest all he could on saves, that vault, and a security guard. Any reason why that is? Perhaps he expected someone was trying to steal from him? Not really. He just really loved that kind of stuff. What is it that made him feel secure? Guess this guy really didn't want people snooping out on his personal stuff. I should have started a security company instead, then. Let's see. Detective, what are the exact reasons for the police to arrest Mr. Taha? Did you know if there's any weak angle I can make use of? What, you didn't hear, pal? So what does this Solar do the deed through that vault door window? Not only that, but the door to the vault was locked the entire time. What is this kept watch on the vault door until we arrived, see? When he broke in, we only found Mr. Tal with a victim she had stabbed inside, Royal Flash. I see. Case doesn't get any simpler than this, pal. Well, that depends on who you ask sometimes, right, Kristoph? Never before in my career have I dealt with such a dreadful case like this. I have to find a way to pin it all and right in one trial session to boot. Otherwise my soul is... rats. I simply have no choice but to find a way somehow. Oh, but wait! Get everything coming, pal. This is the best part. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth himself is leading the case, and he is known to not pull any punches. Boy, do I sure not envy you in the slightest, pal. Can this case get any worse? I'm curious. What are these metal plates doing on the table? Maybe the latest gambling token this casino decided to use. Actually, they're just building materials. Seems the renovation was planned in the near future. Inside this vault is paved with the same... The vault is paved with the same kind of metal tiles. They're going to be replaced with these very slightly newer tiles in about a week from now. The owner was going to renovate this fancy office, but not the but not the old musty outer building walls. Almost as questionable as a business decision as easy for me to say. Almost as questionable a business decision as starting a casino in this neighborhood, I guess. Still, you can't deny that these little metal tiles look a bit suspicious and dangerous out here. So we gave them the old luminol and fingerprint test just to be sure. Sadly, both tests came out negative. All that work to find out they're as clean as a whistle. Maybe we should just make note of it so that his work doesn't go to waste. Maybe you should just make note of it so that his work just didn't go to total waste, Kristoph. Oh, that'll be mighty kind of you, pal. Very well. Metal tiles. Mr. Elflash had some exquisite taste in art, at least. You think so? I beg to differ. Can't even see what this is supposed to be. Doesn't surprise me you lack an eye for fine detail, right? Just quite clearly a rare specimen by the well-known artist, Will Power. Whoa! You're just reading that off the picture. Also, that's not all it says. Starring in Mozilla 2. Coming soon to a theater near you. I think this is just an old movie poster that got framed in. Yeah, exactly. What an illustrious, artful film this was. Should be shown in art houses, I declare. Ah, yes, Mozilla 2. Very good. Oh, that's the vault door. This is the vault door. Murder occurred from behind there, yes? Strange design. The full reinforced steel door with a bulletproof window. Wasn't easy breaking it open. Apparently the victim had this vault custom made and installed by KB Security. That's a special big keyhole lock that cannot be picked open. Huh. I think picking it open is possible considering you can see into the vault through the keyhole. Well, especially designed in such a way that it's very easy to lock, but near impossible to unlock. Alright, so you need to solve a series of puzzles involving, like, silly posed men, and then, get various pieces of a giant mechanical key. Piece together in a giant mechanical key, and then use the giant mechanical key to, open the vault. Only the single copy of the vault key can unlock it. Other than that, it's like a normal door. Incidentally, why does this door even have a window? Seems counterintuitive for a vault. Well, we can dig up. The victim himself requested the vault to have a door with a window. Yeah! He wanted at all times to be able to see the money he'd place in there without opening the vault. You mean so he could always see if the money wouldn't be gone, despite being under lock and key? Huh. Sounds like Mr. Elfash was quite the paranoid man. Explains all the security measures here, I guess. Regardless, have you uncovered any clues on the door itself, Detective? We're still in the middle of that, pal. You've been so busy investigating other things. You'll just have to find out in court tomorrow, and when we'll know more. The door's only integral to this entire murder case. Please do take your time with it, why don't you? I don't expect that to be the vault door. What is this then? This must be Mr. Elflash's personal safe. It's enormous. Why would he even have this when he's already got a vault here he could store things in? I'm more curious about what could be inside. Perhaps even something related to the case. Yeah, we've actually been trying to open this safe to find that out, just in case. I mean, just look at it. Such a big safe is bound to have something really important inside. I guess all concerns about privacy are off the table when it comes to investigating a murder. Unfortunately, it's a special high-tech safe designed to be impossible to break open. Not only do you need a key to open it normally, but a number code as well. We found the key here in this office, but the code still eludes us. I see how that could be a problem. The code might not even be written down here somewhere. Yeah. Still, we're not giving up. We've just been trying to guess the code all this time. That sounds like it could take a while. Don't worry, right now we've tried code 0000 to 8293 already, so we should get it before long. Wow, Jesus Christ. I see. Just check back here later, after a little while. Then we can discover what's inside the safe together. I should probably take you up on that offer. I just need all the information I can get. What's the code is 9999. Detective, he managed to open up this safe yet? Alright, pal, not yet. Suppose you mean I'm somewhere else to kill time. Alright, let's do that. Go to the kitchen here. What? What is that? A Steel Samurai, Kristoph? I have no idea what that is, right? Really? It was this very popular kids show on TV about 10 years ago. Never seen it. No, I don't watch Drivel, right? Please don't tell me you watch children's show in your 20s. I know a few people who would eat you alive for saying that, Kristoph. Yo, Nick! Who's the hotness you have with you? Oh, Larry. Hey, Larry. Right, let me introduce you. This is my friend, Kristoph Gavin. Friend? Gavin, how come you always get all the chicks? Larry? I'm sorry, are you two already acquainted? Yeah. This is Larry Butts. We've been friends since 4th grade. We haven't seen each other for a long while. In fact, I only just met him here again this morning. It's a bit of a surprise to find out he works here, but I guess he tends to switch jobs often. Yeah, it's been happening a lot. What the coincidence meeting here again, huh, Nick? So you're involved with this crime as well, Mr. Butts? Yeah, it seems to be happening a lot too. It's a curse, I tell you. I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you please. Oh. Bisexual Larry headcanon? I can get behind that. Sure, fire away. A friend of Nick's is a friend of mine. Oh, this is funky. Hey, now, wait a second. Isn't that Nick's Tony's badge? Did you steal it? Is that why Nick lost his badge? No, obviously not. This is my own badge. I'm an attorney myself. Oh, of course. How silly of me. You never caused Nick to lose his badge, right? Duh! You're Nick's friend, after all. Exactly. Is he on a two? No, it's just a pig. Right. Oh, that's just good. Judging from your attire, I doubt you're one of the tournament's entrants. I take it you work here. Yep, I'm this casino's sole security guard. And sole employee too, actually. Another part-time job he took to pay for presents he can give to models, no doubt. When Mr. Hellflash saw that I already had prior experience, he hired me on the spot. But perhaps he should have hired someone who could do the casino-related work instead. So, how was work here at the casino? Pretty chill, I guess. Customers come here very rarely, so I usually don't even need to do much. That doesn't sound very good for business. Yeah. Like Mr. Hellflash told me the other day that the casino is almost bankrupt because of that. Not that I'm surprised by that, no. Mr. Hellflash only ever spent money on security. With the casino's facilities and supplies being so poor, I can see why no customers ever come. Perhaps Mr. Hellflash decided to host today's poker tournament to reel in new customers then. On the invitation, it was stated that the winner of the tournament was to take all the prize money. In other words, the casino would not take a cut from it. And why host the tournament? Don't know about that. All I know is that Mr. Hellflash needed money fast or the casino would go under. That's curious. Oh, shoot. Makes me wonder if this isn't some setup to, steal from himself, almost. What happened? Mr. Butts, could you tell me what you know about the crime? Well, I wish I could, but the police told me I shouldn't tell anyone about it yet. All I can say is that I saw the exact moment the murder happened. We testified in court tomorrow, so you can hear the full story then, okay? No information from him, I suppose. Mr. Butts, to address the elephant in the room, why is this thing here? What, my puffy steel samurai? Because I was responsible for the catering here today. And my girl Kianse suggested I should make my samurai dog, so I brought this baby with me. Can't make samurai dogs without the steel samurai around, you know? It's so big, it's blocking the door. Could you just leave it outside? Oh, that's why we can't go in the door! Well, how can I then use the kitchen inside to make the samurai dogs, Nick? In front of that door is the only place with enough room where it would work and stay in here. I question even that. How did you get this thing to fit inside here in the first place? Huh? Well, it's an inflatable, of course. I just brought it in, deflated, then pumped it full of air in here. They actually meant how there was enough room inside this kitchen at all. I have a little blue compressor on the table. I could fill it up in the blink of an eye. And the best part is it's activated at the press of a button by a remote control. Pretty cool, huh? You can inflate or deflate it instantly, whenever you want. So, no more explosive accidents with air tags for you then, huh, Larry? Come on, give me some slack on that, Nick. That was like 10 years ago. That was like 3 games ago. Do I even dare to ask what the exact circumstances of that were? I think I should just not. Steel Samurai in the Gold Record, alright! I should ask him more about that catering that he was responsible for instead. Some food items and cooking utensils are stored here, including a very large can of ketchup. That ketchup was for the samurai dogs made for lunch. I had to close up that can again after the murder happened, though. Wouldn't want the police to confuse the ketchup inside with blood or something, you know? Done. Sir, we found a few liters of blood here in this ketchup can. Suspicious. Yeah. There appears to be some hot dogs in this cooking pot. Hey, no free samples. You gotta pay. You can try the trash can outside if you're hungry. Going, what? Ah, my apologies. This compressor appears to be what's pumping air into the inflatable steel samurai. Cooking utensils, but there seems to be no kitchen knife here. Ah, that's weird. Pretty sure there was one here when we all had lunch around noon. If you need to cut some food, you can still use this spatula. That spatula does sort of do the job, I guess. That's not what I was worried about. Alright, the catering. Mr. Butts, earlier you said that you were responsible for the catering today. Could you elaborate on that? Oh, sure. You see, there was a lunch plan for today. The poker tournament entrance at noon. Mr. Elflash didn't want to spend any money on arranging the lunch himself, so he asked me to do it. He said I could sell the lunches to the entrance and I could even keep all the money I'd make from it. So I told my girl Kianse about it, and she suggested that I should make the lunch be samurai dogs. Make the dog today at 11:30. So we could all have lunch here in the kitchen around 12 p.m. So everyone who partook in the tournament ate hot dogs in the kitchen at around 12. Well, not everyone. Just me, all the players who made it past the first round, and Mr. Elflash. Anyone who lost in the tournament immediately left the casino afterwards. Well, that should still effectively be everyone who was still at the casino that were having lunch. Oh, and I guess that cutie Bethany didn't eat a samurai dog either. She said she was a vegetarian. She still had lunch here in the kitchen with the rest of us, though. They wanted Miss Ital have for lunch. There's some lettuce here in the fridge, so she used a kitchen knife to cut herself a salad. Oh dear. Kitchen knife? Could that be the murder weapon? You should have tried a samurai dog, really. It tastes much better than salad, and there's such a bargain, too. Bargain? Nah. I barely had enough extra money to pay that the outrageous price for that hot dog, Larry. Couldn't you give me a friendly discount or something? Hey, don't you offer some penny pincher, Nick? You act like I swindled you or something. I didn't even make all that much money off those samurai dogs. Your overhead was ridiculous? Look, you just copy my administration to prove it. What? Excuse me? Your administration? Yeah, I do some handwritten bookkeeping for my accountant. Of course. Is Kianse your accountant? Selling samurai dogs is still a business, but I gotta file taxes for you, no? You still sell. I suppose that is true, yes. Hey, you know what? Just take it. I insist. I got another copy of one. I got another copy of my administration anyway. Are you certain this is legal? Sure, probably. Maybe it can help you out in some way, right? Consider it a gift. Well then. Alright. Let's see what Larry was cooking. And Larry is cooking I'll receive $19, all cash. That makes what? $4.75 per hot dog. Goddamn, Larry. That better be a big fucking hot dog. That's all the information I will get out of him, then. So. Nick, Libby, Ben. Bethany was there too, but didn't eat a hot dog. Elflash was there. Yeah, that accounts for everyone. Thank you for the information, Mr. Butts. Sure, anytime. If you need anything else, just let me know. By the way, Nick, since the police said we'd have to stay here all night, where are we gonna sleep? I was thinking we'd gnawing off on that inflatable steel samurai of yours, Larry. Oh, good idea. But what about you? It's big enough for the two of us, isn't it? Not for the three of us, Nick. I'm gonna ask the girl in the side hall to join me. Larry, some advice. That puffy steel samurai is not gonna be big enough for you and a girl. Maybe we should just crash on those couches in the staff lounge instead, then, huh? It'd save you a few bruises, at least. Nick, you're such a killjoy sometimes. He's trying to be a wingman. I suppose it's already getting late. But if we double my efforts in this investigation to find something I can really use. Goodbye, Larry. Oh, pal. You're just in time. 100% sure that the next code we try is going to open the safe. It's the code you're going to input. 9999, perhaps? How'd you know? Should have just dusted the panel for fingerprints to find out instantly. Anyway, now we get to find out what's inside this safe. This better be good. What I found in my investigation so far was mostly useless for what I am up against. All I learned are things that made pinning this crime on Wraith even harder. So I need whatever it is inside this safe to be something I can use. Alright, it's open, and inside we find... another safe? This can't be happening! Wow. Guess you weren't kidding when you said Mr. Elflash really loves his security. 2 safes just to lock up whatever he's hiding in there. Both almost the same size, too. Oh no. It's even worse than just the last safe. Just look at the locks on this one. 5 black. 5555. This one has 2 keyholes and a number lock pad. Indeed. Lock at the bottom is a tubular lock even. Whoa! First safe already took us most of the day to open. This model's anything like the last one, and we'll likely have to spend an all-nighter to open this. We have to find both keys and figure out the code to this one. I doubt we'll be able to learn what's inside the second safe before tomorrow's trial starts. Well, I hope there's nothing too important to the case inside that safe now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to tough it out in court until we can get it open, pal. Second safe. 2 of them. That's all. I need something I can use to convict Wraith. My life is on the line here. If only I had more time to prepare for tomorrow. We don't need to rely on luck to get evidence. What's wrong, Kristoph? You look a bit distraught. It's nothing. Let's go, Wraith. I think we searched everywhere we could by now. Yes, I doubt we'd find much more information anyway. You sure you're okay, Kristoph? I've never seen you look so stressed before. I told you it's nothing, right? Worried your client might be actually guilty or something? I can't tell him the real reason for my worries. I'll just follow up on his question, I suppose. Honestly, I'm genuinely not sure if she's guilty or not. There's just too much going against her. Only there's always an angle I see, or a piece of evidence that can help me acquit the client. In extreme cases, I simply request some forged evidence. But that's not the case here this time. Just something I'm not used to, that's all. Seems like the usual court case to me. That doesn't mean she's truly guilty, right? You say that despite witnessing the crime yourself. Hey, I've seen crazier stuff in my time as a lawyer. And you must believe in her, if you took her case, right? Just about all my cases were the kind where I had no clue what to do from the start, either. But that's no reason to get so distraught over. Just don't give up and work it out as you go along, you know? Chin up! I have no idea how you managed to keep that up for 3 years. I always prefer to prepare my cases well in advance. That's much more effective. I think I'd even be capable of handling a case I'm not prepared for. But you took on this case out of the blue, didn't you? You didn't prepare for this one, at least. That's just because I have my reasons, right? That shows you do have what it takes, you know? It's similar to bluffing in court. It shows you're willing to dive headfirst into something despite not knowing where that will take you. Never thought you had that in you before, but perhaps we're more alike than I thought. I'm not like you, right? Don't rely on luck and bluffs in court. Then maybe it's time you tried it. Seems like you might need to for this case. You're telling me to make things up as I go along tomorrow. not making things up as you go along. It's sticking to your hand, not knowing where it'll lead you. Where it'll lead to. How about this? I wasn't planning on even setting foot in the court tomorrow, but... See that you took on this case and look a bit worried about it. How about I be your co-counsel? Perhaps I could give you some pointers if you need to bluff or otherwise help you out a bit. Are you sure you want to? You said you'd rather not appear in court at all. Means I can help you out? And yeah, of course. So... Very well then. Thank you, Wraith. That's what friends are for, Kristoph. Perhaps he's not as bad of a person as I used to think. Wait, what am I thinking? It's the man who ruined my future. In the future, he's possibly trying to manipulate me. Seems like he wants to be my co-counsel because he suspects I'm trying to pin this crime on him. Telling me I should bluff the most, that I will fail at my task of convicting him. Besides, I need to get rid of him anyway, or my soul belonged to the devil. It's getting late. Guess you're going to head out soon. Ah, yes. Should prepare what I still can before the trial starts. Alright, I have to stay here along with the other people involved in the case, of course. It was fun investigating with you today, Kristoph. I feel like I got to know you a lot better. Me as well. I'll see you tomorrow. See ya. How amazing would it be if this ends with Kristoph turning over a new leaf? He avoids his fate by actually coming to understand Phoenix Wright and befriending him properly. And then in the process, he goes back to Drew Bisham's place and trades off the stamp for something else to prevent Drew from dying. And then a new future is formed. Tomorrow is going to be one of the hardest trials I've ever faced. But I cannot falter. I will get my old life back, and I will get my revenge. I will make sure of that. Alright, let's go. Trial former. There's indeed one trial day. With a trial former and trial ladder, so. How about it, Gavin? Got a good plan of attack for the trial today? Naturally. Looked over the case in detail and got plenty of ideas of how to go about it. Remember what I said yesterday before I was taken in for questioning? I trust you're willing to do anything to get me out of this mess. No need for concern, Mr. Tile. I've got that covered. So you're saying you've got an ace up your sleeve? Perhaps not all is lost yet? I had no choice. I need some forged evidence for this case. I had no time to order any forged evidence from my usual supplier, but I did spend most of last night modifying the poker tournament invitation Miss Tum gave me. I didn't write his name, as well as a threatening sentence, making it like he was being blackmailed. Oh. Looks rather convincing, if I do say so myself. Did the best I could with the materials I had. Not much, but perhaps it can help me establish that Wright had a motive to kill the victim. Really a desperate play. After finding nothing else to pin this crime on Wright with, so be it. You know what will happen if you do not show up, dear Phoenix Wright. Okay. Interesting. Do we have an ending split, perhaps, where we, use this versus don't use this? Follow! Mr. Gavin! I came as fast as I could! Justice, is something wrong? Well, you never told me your client's trial was today, sir. I wouldn't want to miss seeing you defend them in court, of course. Hope you're not shirking your other duties just to watch this trial, Justice. I guess you did tell me to wait for that other client back at the office, but that was yesterday, and they never showed up, and I stayed at the office all night. They never showed up, by the way. I see. Perhaps I forgot about our appointment. Don't worry about it, Justice. I hope we didn't end up waiting too long for a client that never existed. At least my lie of visiting a client yesterday turned out to be true when I took on this case. Oh, I guess who I saw on my way here, sir? Your friend, Mr. Wright. You think he's here to watch the trial, too? You could say that. Here to assist Kristoph a little as his co-counsel. Right. You've arrived. Huh. You're going to help Mr. Gavin with this trial, Mr. Wright? Oh, yeah. When he found out how hard the case he took on was, he practically begged me for my help. So how could I say no to that? You won't be so smug later today. Wow. For real? 2 court legends on the same side of the bench, fighting together? This is gonna be an awesome trial, I bet. But to be fair, this still won't be an easy one, even with my help. If we put our 2 minds together, I'm sure we can do it. Right, Kristoph? Together, you say. I don't need your help, right? At least I accepted you as my co-counsel was to ensure you'd be in court when I accuse you. What if he's anticipating that? Better make sure he won't jeopardize my case with his help. It should be fine. All I need is one of my wits and that forged evidence I prepared. Who's coming in here now? Oh. Not planning to introduce me to your friend, right? Oh man, is that? Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Ah, Edgeworth. Sorry, just thought you'd be too busy preparing for the case. Nonsense, I was already fully prepared for quite a while. Just had to talk to the man you decided to be the co-counsel for all of a sudden. Especially considering you told me you'd rather not appear in court before, right? Well, it's good to finally meet you in person, Mr. Kristoph Gavin. Likewise. I wasn't aware you were acquainted with the acclaimed prosecutor Edgeworth, right? He's a prosecutor I said I had ties with. Did I never mention his name to you before? I see you already know who I am. I suppose that's to be expected, given my reputation. Indeed, and I certainly hope you've heard of me as well, Mr. Edgeworth. Ah, of course. Of course do I know all about you, the coolest defense in the West. I first took note of you about 7 years ago after Wright started mentioning you to me. And then I've kept a close eye on your cases and the intriguing methods you use to win them. They remind me a lot of my former mentor's methods. I hope you're nothing like him yourself. Why is this starting to feel a bit uncomfortable all of a sudden? I heard you took this case on quite a whim, Mr. Gavin. I was wondering why that is. Is there something you find strange about that, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, it's otherwise quite the coincidence that this case involves a friend we both share, no? Perhaps you taking on this case has something to do with Wright. Oh, it couldn't simply be a coincidence like you said, Mr. Edgeworth. Is he suspecting me now too? I wonder, but perhaps so, yes. I, for one, partly accepted this case as I was worried for my friends. What got involved in it? I was only wondering if you shared a similar worry from Wright as the reason you took on this case. Regardless, seeing as we both have a friend in common, there was something I'd like to propose. What would that be? Suppose we work together towards finding the truth. And only the truth. And I hope we can agree to what that truth is, Mr. Edgeworth. I'd like to give you a friendly hint before we do the battle in court, Mr. Gavin. I suggest you do not try anything underhanded just to win this case, because I will know how to counter it. It would be a pity if you lost the case because of a mistake you could have easily avoided, no? I do wish for our clash to be an exciting and gratifying one, after all. Don't you agree? But of course. Maybe forging that evidence was not such a good idea after all. Well, Maybe we should plan something leisurely. We could plan something leisurely sometimes. You two can get to know each other better. Oh, I think I've already gotten a good feel on what Mr. Gavin is like, right? So we'll see about that. The trial starts soon, so I shall take my leave now. Goodbye. Then I'll see you in the courtroom. Well, he's definitely not going to make this case any easier for me. What's more, I only have 6 more hours left to get rid of Wraith once the trial starts. He seemed quite nice for a prosecutor, didn't he, Mr. Gavin? I think we should get to the courtroom already ourselves, Kristoph. Indeed. Let's do just that. Woohoo! Baby. That's a spicy Edgeworth. Getting proper defense attorney Kristoph's rights. Court is now in session for the trial of Bethany et al. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Ooh, hello there. As is the defense, Your Honor. Oh, I must say, I was eagerly anticipating this case when I heard who was going to be the defense and prosecutor today. The best defense attorney in town versus the best prosecutor in town. Exciting, to say the least. Alas, this is a very open and shut case, Your Honor. Not much to be excited about, I'm afraid. I wouldn't count on Mr. Gavin just yet, Mr. Edgeworth. They don't call him the coolest defense in the West for nothing, you know. Good to see ya. Good to know I have to judge by good graces. Hello. Well, it seems that's not the only notable thing about this trial. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. I had not expected to see you here after so long. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? Today I'm just here to support my friend, Kristoph Gavin. Instead, I believe we should just focus on today's court procedures, Your Honor. Very well, I won't speak much further then. Let us begin. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Of course, Your Honor. Murder occurred at El Flash Casino near the edge of town. 2 witnesses saw the defendant kill the victim with a knife right in front of them. Naturally, the prosecution also has irrefutable evidence that the killer could have only been the defendant. It is our belief that the court will need little else to conclude that the defendant is indeed guilty. Very well. Prosecution may call its first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls Detective Gumshoe to the stand. Alright, straight to it. Dick. Witness, state your name and occupation of the court. My name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Detective Gumshoe, please inform us of this case's details, if you would. Yes, sir. The victim was the owner of the casino, Roy L. Flash. At the time of the crime, a poker tournament was taking place at the casino. The defendant was a contestant partaking in the tournament. Apparently, the contestants were allowed free movement inside the casino and not playing a match. Each contestant was to bring in $100,000 as an entry fee, which was then stored inside a vault. Where the tournament would then obtain the total amount of entry fees as prize, it seems. It is inside this giant vault where the dead victim and the defendant were found together, sir. According to the autopsy report, the victim died due to a stab wound, Your Honor. I see. The court accepts the autopsy report as evidence. Just one question, Mr. Edgeworth. But you said there were 2 witnesses who saw the crime. How could they, if both the victim and the defendant were inside a vault? The vault door has this bulletproof window built into it, Your Honor. The witnesses saw the crime happen through that window. Ah, alright. Makes sense. I'm going to question why a vault door would even have a window, I suppose. Now, Detective Gumshoe, you arrested the defendant personally, correct? Would you please testify to the court about that? Gladly, sir. Ooh, before I do that, let's look at the autopsy report. Alpha is 37, April 15th, between 1:45 and 2:15. All the dead blood lost due to the stab wound in the back. Open head injury caused by blunt force trauma. Ah. Whoa! I feel like there's only two. I feel like there's only two routes in terms of cross-examination music. Either canon music, or canon music remixes, or just overly dramatic orchestral music for cross-examination. We know which route this game has taken. Understandable. Ahem, anyways. We received a call about a murder at El Flash Casino around 2:10 p.m. Once there, we went to the locked vault where the murders had taken place. Took a while, but eventually we managed to break open the vault door. Inside, we found the victim with a knife in his back and the vault key in his hand. With him was the defendant, who no doubt had entered the vault before he broke in. No one else was inside the vault, so I figured only the defendant could have killed the victim. Oh, and so I arrested the defendant on the spot, sir. My, that's quite conclusive. It's like one of those locked room murder mysteries in novels, except with an obvious culprit. My thoughts exactly, Your Honor. This is already getting bad. That just leaves a motive. Why would the defendant kill the victim, Mr. Edgeworth? Consider this, Your Honor. What was the defendant doing inside the vault in the first place? We believe Miss Attal was trying to steal all the money that was placed inside the vault that day. Found a bag half filled with entry fee money inside the vault that proves as much. Naturally, the bag and most of the bills bear the defendant's fingerprints. Miss Attal was one of the poker tournament contestants and a professional poker player. Why steal the money when she could have gotten it all by winning the tournament instead? I imagine the defendant first entered the tournament with the intention of winning the money, yes. However, she must have realized that the competition was much fiercer than she had first anticipated. Losing the tournament would mean losing the $100,000 she paid as her entry fee, and had lost. And so, seeing as her chances of winning were slim, she decided to steal all the prize money instead. As she was emptying the vault, Mr. Elflash must have witnessed her theft. Thus, the defendant had to silence the victim, resulting in murder. Compelling motive. Looks like Edgeworth is in top form today. He might need more than just logic to break his case. So if you need any help, then I'm here for you, Kristoph. The last thing I need are your bluffs that turned this trial into a circus show, right? Very well, Mr. Gavin. You may begin your cross-examination now. With pleasure, Your Honor. It's no problem for me. All I have to do is press for more information. Multiple statements in this testimony which I can draw new information from. Once I'm sure I have all the information I need, I'll strike at his testimony. I don't need for right luck-based methods. I need my own intellect. Alright. Oh. Who made the call, Detective? I do believe it was one of the witnesses who saw the murder happen. They told us about what happened in the fine detail and where the murder had taken place. They even gave us directions to how to get to the vault for when he entered the building. Pretty convenient. Because of that, we immediately knew where we had to go. Quite thorough indeed. What if it was Wright who made the call? Know what you're thinking? It's a bit over the top to go into such detail already over the phone. But you just can't trust the police with their own interpretations of how a murder happened anymore. Alone with how to get to the crime scene when you need them for once. So you did call.
Hold it!
At what time did you arrive at the casino? Well, the casino was at the edge of town, so it took a little bit to get there from the police station. I'd say about 2:30 p.m. or so. Very well. So you arrived at the crime scene, the locked vault, as you say. And you are certain the vault was locked when you arrived there? Yep, 100% certain. I even tried opening the door myself, without getting my prints on it, of course. So how did you ascertain the door was indeed locked? I have a special technique which involves bashing the door. If that's not enough for you, our investigators can confirm the lock was engaged when I broke the door open. I've been thinking about bashing that door to break it open makes my shoulder hurt again. You managed to break open a vault door by bashing it. That's impressive. Actually, I heard that. I had heard that if Gumshoe's door bashing did nothing to break open the door. They had to wait for the proper equipment in order to break open the vault door. Well, even with that, it certainly wasn't easy, pal. But, yeah. Oh.
Hold it!
About this vault door, Detective. Did you uncover any additional information about it in your investigation since yesterday? No, mention it, pal. Seeing the essence of a decently complex design, we need to write a report on this door and its inner workings. Could you briefly summarize these details to the court, Detective? Well, as we already mentioned before, the door had this window you could see the vault with. Other than that, the lock is kind of special, that it's this big keyhole you can see through. And it's designed in such a way that it's very easy to lock. At the same time, it's also impossible to unlock through lockpicking. What about a fingerprint analysis? You performed on the door handle, no doubt. Of course we did, pal. No worries, it's all there in the report. Just read it for yourself. I see. And this court will now accept this reported evidence. Where is this? Oh, okay. We saw what you found here to open the vault. Before we do that, though, suppose we should. Alright, steel frame, bulletproof window, large keyhole, easy to lock, possible to unlock through lockpicking, locked and broken by the police. Neighbors to the following individuals: Roy Elflash, Phoenix Wright, Larry Butts. Ah.
Hold it!
I suspect the police believes that the knife be the murder weapon. I mean, yeah, obviously. Not like there's a non-violent reason for there to be a knife in his back. If I may ask, where did this knife come from exactly? It's a kitchen knife in the casino's kitchen. The defendant must have taken it from there. She likely took it in case she needed to silence someone who sees her steal the vault's money. And I'd assume the prosecution has evidence to support that claim, no? A fair point. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course it was the defendant who brought it into the vault. Only her fingerprints were found on it. Only her fingerprints were found to be on this knife. Were you expecting anything else to be the case, Mr. Gavin? We have a plausible reason for it. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon? That's rather incriminating. Your Honor, these fingerprints do not necessarily mean that the defendant used the knife to kill the victim. Eyewitnesses have seen Miss Attal use the kitchen knife to cut herself a salad during lunchtime. That's how her fingerprints ended up on the knife. Someone else could have potentially taken the knife to the vault without getting their own prints on it. I see. That's certainly a possibility to consider, too. If you thought you could trap me by not immediately revealing the fingerprints, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid you don't know me very well. I'd like to remind the court, before the defendant used the knife to make a salad, that doesn't mean she didn't use it for the murder as well. In any event, the kitchen knife will be submitted to the court as evidence. Alright. Detective Gumshoe, please elaborate on the vault key you found next. As the name suggests, it's the key to the vault, and it's the only one of its kind. We know the victim would keep the key on him at all times. Like I said before, it was found with the victim inside the vault, which was locked. Nobody from outside the vault could have gone past the vault door without the key. That sounds like important evidence, then. Please submit that key to the court as evidence as well, Mr. Detective. Alright. Incidentally, is it also possible to lock the door from inside the vault? It sure is, pal. In conclusion, the victim could have only taken the killer from inside the vault. Guess who was with the victim when we broke in? Me. No.
Hold it!
When do you propose that the defendant must have entered the vault? We don't know about the exact time. That would make sense. That would have been, but we do happen to know that defendant Mr. Edward before the victim did. And how do you know? Because we have another witness who can confirm as much. Don't need to doubt anything about who the killer is here, pal. But do you know for a fact that it has to be the defendant who killed the victim?
Hold it!
How do you know there was no one else inside the vault? It was dark inside there, no? There's also a blind spot just north of the door where you would break it open. Someone could have hid there and escaped that vault unseen when you'd entered it. I'm really wising up to that old trick, pal. I was extra careful to make sure nobody else was in there. Besides, there's still a bunch of police officers in the staff lounge. We'd see someone leave. Oh yeah, it was only the defendant inside. Who else could kill the victim, pal? Before the defense inevitably suggests it, suicide is deemed impossible as well. Suicide by Caesar. The knife wound on the victim's back. Meaning he couldn't have inflicted that wound himself. I'm appalled, Mr. Edgeworth. I think that you'd expect me to suggest such an outlandish thing. Well, you'd never consider who your co-counsel. Well, you never know considering who your co-counsel is, Mr. Gavin. I know you've probably got it covered, but sure that by pressing you'll find something you can use. Make sure you don't miss anything. Might be more than a single thing I can learn here. So take it slow and press for more information. Oh, okay, we looped. In that case, it's a good time as any to save and come back next time. Until then, pal!